Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the charts behind me. And so this is the NIO chart, ticker symbol NIO, and it looks like it closed on Wednesday, January 15th at a price of $4.10, being up almost 0.5% on the day. And it does look like in the pre-market, it is up about 1 penny or about 0.25%. And so I wanted to follow up on the NIO chart because I have been pretty bullish on it. I do think that it will be hitting $8 a share later this year when China starts to release some stimulus. But, I have thus far been wrong with calling for breakouts. We can see this yellow downtrend here based on the high from October 28th, as well as the high being the other pivot point from December 9th. And we can see that that was recently a level that we got a rejection from on January 6th. And then we have pulled back. And so yesterday, I was a little bit concerned that we're starting to form a bear flag downside move here, consolidation. And and that was also, right around $4 a share. I do have this green line drawn here at $4.09. If we take a step back, it looks like that was the pivot high from April 18th. And then following that, got rejected, bounced lower, and then to move up to these highs over here. Also, did kind of get a retest of that level. It looks like towards the end of June, then broke below it, consolidated below it in, let's see, August. Basically for the month of August, consolidated below that level. So I feel like it could be acting as support. And one thing you might notice is I do have this uptrend here, which is based on the two lows over here, one being the low that was hit on August 8th at a price of $4.02. And then the other pivot point was the low from August 28th. That was at, let's see the numbers up there. That was at a low of $3.68. I think the low over here, $3.63, not 402. And so with that, we got that uptrend, and we can see, if we take a step back, that we're consolidating right at that level. So I am hoping that this is finally forming a bottom. I could, of course, be wrong, as I have been early in expecting, these moves to be breaking out. But, I'd rather be talking about this when we see the pullback rather than the move to the upside, because those have just been followed by rejections. But this, of course, could be going lower. One way to get an idea of where price could be going lower is if we do a Fibonacci extension from that high to the low, and then the high that we just saw on Tuesday the 14th. And if we take a step back in the chart, we can see that level, that 100% level. So just basically the same type of move from here to here, that distance from the top here to the level here, that will be at $3.29.5 or $3.30. So quite possible NIO could be heading lower if we are in fact forming a bear flag. But I have some hope that what we're seeing now is forming a bottom because of that light blue level that has acted as prior support. I think it could be acting as support again, and that we could be seeing some moves higher. But levels that might be acting as resistance, if I do draw a horizontal line here, that would be around $4.30 or 36 cents to get some bounces from that level. And so that could be acting as resistance. So keep that in mind, $4.36. Also, this downtrend, perhaps around $4.60 could be resistance, or really just right around $4 if we do, actually, no, $4. So I was saying $4.30, or $4.60 could be some resistance, maybe $4.50, really just being approximate. And then I do have this dashed trend line here, which I was hoping was an inverse head and shoulders here, an inverted head and shoulders, but we did not see that, or at least it took a while for that to play out. So that could be another level that we bump our heads at, and that would be around $5 a share, and also perhaps corresponding with this orange downtrend which does go back some time, did act as resistance over here going back to the beginning of 2022. We have not traded above that orange downtrend. So I do think that will be substantial resistance, but if we do start to see a lot of stimulus coming from China, we could see a breakout from that level, perhaps getting to what I view as, a more exciting inverse or inverted head and shoulders pattern, with the left shoulder here, big head here, and then getting up to that level would actually be below $7 a share, marked by this green line. But following that, we could be seeing some big moves, perhaps to $8 a share. I do think that's very realistic for sometime later this year, but perhaps up to around $10 or $9.57, marked by this gray line you might be able to see there, or which I should say corresponds with the armpit of the inverse head and shoulders, or perhaps getting up to above $10 a share to around $11.67 that I've marked here. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. And so with that being said, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And so yeah, I'm probably just going to release that as a clip because I'm excited about NIO. But a couple things that I am excited about. Hydro Hustle, I will look at WOOF in just a second. I did just want to go over, forgot to kind of include it in that video that I'll probably release a clip of later, but maybe I'll do it just cleaner because that was kind of rough. I just wanted to go over some of the Unusual Whales options data really briefly. I'm sure not all of you guys are that interested in this, but something that I have been trying to get better is just interpreting the volume charts over here related to the net call premium. So this is going to be for all NIO contracts. And so this data, if I do scroll up, we can see this is for the actually, this is just for NIO, so I can forget about this contract. But if I do scroll up, so all of that data is visible behind me, what we can see is that, the stock price, perhaps, formed a bottom, which is what I'm hoping. I'm talking about this possibility of a bottom rather than a bear flag. I've got the yellow, which is the stock price, did bounce, close higher than it opened. And what we can see, we've got the net call premium in green, the net put premium in red. And so, this is just my trying to get better at interpreting this data. What we can see is the net call premium was kind of flat. Same with the net put premium, kind of flat at the beginning of the day. But then towards the end of the day, net call premium went up. Net put premium also went up, but to a lesser degree. And what we see here is in this volume, my understanding of it is there was more net buying, whether that's of calls or puts, any contracts, more buying of contracts. And so that looks good, more activity with the NIO contracts. And since we see the net call premium above the net put premium, that means there was more net buying of calls than buying of puts. And so that is more bullish. And what we can see in the call premiums over here is that the net call premium ended the day around $440,000 in premium, whereas the net put premium ended the day at about $66,000 in premium. And so that does make me think that we could be seeing a bottom in NIO. And actually, if we do adjust this to be looking at, let's say, the past 7 days, we can see that there has perhaps been kind of a shift going from red over here to green. So this is more net selling. And this, although net selling would correspond with more, net selling. Yeah, so this is where it gets a little wonky for me because we have all of these puts going up, so more net put premium going up. But I guess that it was more or less balanced by the selling of these calls. So yeah, generally, that makes me think that, this was more bearish over here with the green lines coming down, selling of puts because the net premium is going down, whereas the net premium of puts is going up. So that does look, bearish over here. Maybe we have shifted to being more bullish for NEO. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then also looking at the data from these contracts. So this one over here is a $10 call that expires in June. The reason why I was looking at that is because did see, spikes in the candle premium here of about 1.5 million, followed by 1.2 million for this contract. So that kind of put it on my radar, this contract. And then if I do scroll down, we can see that there's been a lot of selling of these contracts, thousands of these calls being sold. So that is bearish. We had the open interest going from around 70.6 thousand contracts, really 72,000 contracts, going down to now about 6,900, right around, 61,000 approximately open interest. So did lose approximately 10,000 contracts over the course of the past 10 days, week and a half or so of trading. So it doesn't look so good, but we did get our first increase in open interest by 263 contracts from yesterday into today. So we'll have to see what kind of volume gets traded today and if the open interest continues to go higher. So I will be very interested to see that. Another contract that we can look at is the $8 call that expires in June. This is one that I personally am fairly heavy in. And this one, interestingly, we can see that it has been increasing over the past couple weeks, but yesterday was the first day that we saw a decrease, going from about 6,000 contracts open to about a little bit below 6,000, so a decrease of 55 contracts. So that is, a kind of a shift from looking good to looking not so good. And then another contract, and personally, all of these contracts, these 3 NEO contracts, I am holding. But what we can see with this one is kind of like a mixed bag. This is a leap, so it expires in 2026, expiring today, January 16th, on the 15th. And that one, we have been seeing some selling between, so I guess on Tuesday, we saw an increase of about 29 contracts, but yesterday, on Wednesday, we saw a decrease of 18, still right around 22.9 thousand contracts. We were up to around 23.5 thousand. So did see a decrease of about 600 over the course of the past week or so. But yeah, I just think that what we're seeing here in this volume over the past 7 days is that we have kind of seen a shift. So I think that looks really good. That does stand out to me as being exciting.